What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another of me talking about the E3 stuff. So today we're talking about the Sony E3 press conference and the games revealed and all that good stuff. So first thing off the bat, I want to say is this was not my favorite. This is probably maybe my second favorite of this year. Obviously, you know I talked about this in my last video with Microsoft. I like the Microsoft press conference a lot more than I like this one, but this one came in at a close second. It had some good stuff, but it just wasn't a lot of new stuff. It was a lot of the same things from last year, but they were just showing off gameplay and stuff more than anything else. There were a couple new, cool, surprising things that I really am happy about, but at the same time, there's not a lot here. So let's get into this. So let me tell you a little story. Made myself some dinner, sat down, watching the Sony E3 press conference. It starts with a beautiful opening of, the guy in a banjo just, playing the Last of Us theme song. I was like, that's cool. And I will say after a while, it was like, okay, he's playing the whole song. It's kind of dragging on a bit. And then he finishes, and then he gets up, people clap, and then they play the Last of Us Part 2 gameplay stuff. When it begins, it was kind of a cool setting. They were in this little dance area. It was nice. But then it did do something that made me kind of, what's the word I'm looking for here? Bothered by. So they had this moment where she kisses this girl. And then after that they do the gameplay. But okay, so before I go any further, I just want to say, I'm okay with, gay, lesbians, whatever you are. The problem is it felt forced. It felt forced. And the difference between what I'm seeing here and in the last game, besides the DLC, was it wasn't forced. Like, for example, Bill, we knew he was gay in these little notes we found. Okay, we didn't need this huge scene where she kisses this girl. And that was my problem with the DLC. I didn't need that scene. That scene was not, didn't matter. And then the gameplay starts. But then while the gameplay is going, the whole time I'm thinking in the back of my head, that same scene. I'm thinking of that scene over and over again. I'm trying to process what I just saw. And while that's happening, the gameplay is just kind of playing. And I'm distracted by the kiss. And it just was distracting. It was distracting, and I'll be honest, as a guy, usually I'd be like, yeah, a guy. Like, a guy should be like, oh, wow, that was hot. But no, with this, it's like, it just kind of, it was this thing where it rubbed you off the wrong way. Because this is how they opened the conference up. Maybe if this was like the last thing they showed, maybe then I'd feel different. But this was the first thing they showed, was this. And I gotta say, it felt uncomfortable. I felt uncomfortable with it. And it feels forced, and that's what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid of this forced SJW stuff. I'm okay if it's there, but don't force it. And that's what I don't like about this so far. And I actually went back and played the first game, and I remember why I liked the first game so much. And I'm actually afraid. I don't know if I like this game so much. So going back to the gameplay now that I finally, got the service announcement out of the way, now we can continue with the actual gameplay. So the gameplay starts. It looks great. Like the environment looks cool. I like the little fog effects. This game looks to be brutal. there looks to be some brutal scenes of people getting killed, which was not a huge thing in the first game. People literally getting ripped open, guts just hanging out, which is uncomfortable. That's uncomfortable too. But obviously, you know, not as uncomfortable as the last thing I was just talking about, but anyway. So one of the things I noticed is she's by herself. She's by herself. She's not with Joel. She's by herself. So I really hope Joel's not dead. Because Joel was like, he was the man, in the first game. But yeah, man, I really hope he's okay. But yeah, the gameplay, I will be honest, it looks a lot like the first game. The crafting things look a little different. I think I saw an explosive arrow. That was cool. I like we're probably gonna get different types of arrows. That sounds pretty cool. But like I said, I don't, you know, it looks a lot the same. Which is what I was afraid of. And that's probably another reason why I wasn't so excited when I actually saw the gameplay. I was like, this just kind of looks the same. And then you got to see this close combat with Ellie. I understand. Ellie's not like Joel where she can fight like him. But then it felt like God of War or like Dark Souls. You see this gameplay where she's stabbing and slicing, and then she's like dodging. She's dodging. You gotta dodge all the attacks. And I'm just like, oh man, it's gonna be one of those games. So, because you could take a hit by a dude or a zombie in the last game, but in this game, I'm guessing Ellie gets hit like maybe once or twice, maybe 3 times max, and then she's red health or dead. Like, that's how, like, afraid I think I'm gonna be playing this game. But yeah, that happened. There are some cool new mechanics. You can hide under, like, cars. You can shoot while you're hiding under the car. They can drag you out from under the car. It looks great. It looks like they're going for more of a brutal approach too. Again, they said that this game is about hate. And that's probably another reason why I'm kind of scared for this game, because I'm not really full of hate anymore. Like, I really just don't want to see hateful stuff anymore, man. Like, so, I don't know. Like I said, we'll see. But I've been talking about The Last of Us Part 2 enough. I will say, like I said, the gameplay looks a little bit the same. There are some cool new stuff in there, but the game looks worrying overall to me because it's a little bit of the same and a little bit different, but not in a good way. Majority not in a good way, it looks like. So I don't know, we'll see. 8 minutes of me talking about that shit. Did not want to do that. Okay, let's move on to Death Stranding. Death Stranding looked very, very weird. I'm honestly not going to play this game, but I'm interested to see what it's about. It looks like a weird sci-fi movie, if you ask me. It looks kind of weird, but it looks interesting enough for me to want to see what the deal is with this game. But it's not interesting enough for me to buy it, unfortunately. Sorry. And then we have Ghost of Tsushima. This actually looked cool. I've been hearing a lot of people say they want Assassin's Creed to go to Japan, and I think this is close enough because this looks really cool. The environments look beautiful. Again, I don't usually like to talk about graphics and environments because it's not about graphics to me. It's about gameplay and it's about story and stuff. But this game looks like it's gonna have it all. Like, this looks like it's gonna be one of those best-selling games. Like, that's what this looks like. This looks really good. I'm liking what I'm seeing, and can't wait. I honestly think I might buy this game. This game looks really fun. I think the sword play is going to be really cool. It's going to feel cinematic. It's going to look great. So we'll see. And then moving on to Spider-Man PS4. So, how do I say this? How do I talk about this because of recent events? It reminded me a lot of Arkham Asylum, this little demo we got. We're in this raft area, which is basically, I guess, like a prison. Spider-Man goes in, he's fighting these criminals, and I'm like, this reminds me of Arkham Asylum. This whole thing reminds me of Arkham Asylum. The gameplay reminds me of Arkham Asylum, and the whole idea here reminds me of Arkham Asylum. But then it does switch gears, and you're chasing Electro. And then there's this one scene where he's running up a wall chasing Electro, and then he starts, like, going left and right. It's like 2001 Spider-Man 2 Enter Electro moment. So it looks like there could be some fan service in here as far as, like, from the old games. Now, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. We'll see, but I don't know. It was cool, but still, I don't know. I mean, and then we get a little tease about who the main villain could be. I honestly, before I made this video, I was listening to the audio of the part after Spider-Man got his ass kicked by the Sinister Six, essentially, or Sinister Five, whatever. And I don't know who the main villain is. So there's a lot of speculation going around and stuff. I was listening with my headphones, and I was like, I think that it's Dr. Octopus. But then I heard something else, and I was like, wait a minute, is that Green Goblin? Wait a minute, is that Carnage? Is that Venom? So I think my gut says Doc Ock, but part of me wants to say Green Goblin too because of the mayor thing. So I don't know. I think if I was to put money on it, I'll put Doc Ock. Because I think I heard something mechanical in the background, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know who it is. We got Rhino, we got Vulture, we got Electro. Rhino, Vulture, Electro. Mr. Negative was there, but he doesn't really count. Scorpion was there. And I gotta say, a lot of these character designs look comic booky and like a mixture of Amazing and Ultimate, it looks like. It looks like they're going for this weird mixture. I don't know if I'll like that, to be honest with you, but we'll see. But they do look cool. They do look cool. I don't have a problem with that. Let's move on to Control. So this game stood out to me. Apparently it was made by the people who made Quantum Break and Max Payne? I never played the Max Payne games, but I heard they were really good. So this game looks interesting. I didn't get to play Quantum Break. I heard Quantum Break was a little too story-driven, and it had some, like, 30-minute freaking almost TV show-like stuff, and I was like, nah, I don't feel that. But Control looks like it could be cool. I will keep my eye on it and see if I like it more or not. And then, out of everything I saw that night, this was the thing that made me lose my mind. And that was the Resident Evil 2 remake. I flipped out. This was like with Dying Light 2, but for Sony's press conference. I flipped out. I stood up. I started clapping and shouting like crazy, man. Like I was happy. Like as soon as I saw Leon, I was like, it's Resident Evil 2. Like it was awesome. It was great, man. Like this, but that's what I'm saying. It was the Last of Us Part 2, Spider-Man, Ghost of Tsushima, like your 2, 3, 4 bestseller games, and I was more hyped up for Resident Evil 2 remake, which I am. I fucking am. You fucking I am. Like, dude, this could beat Resident Evil 4. Like this has the potential. like it really does. What is my favorite Resident Evil game? I would have to say maybe the first one. just because I like the story and I like how you can have like 12 different endings. But I didn't play the 2 and 3 yet. I probably will buy the original second game on like the PS2 or something, just because I want to play it as the original game. I'll probably do that when I go buy this game. This game comes out in January, and I was like, this is awesome. I'm happy about that. I'm really excited. But yeah, like I said, this press conference came in second for me. It had potential, but the problem is it had controversial things with The Last of Us Part 2 for me. That beginning, kiss and all that, and then it moved on to other games, and then we got to Spider-Man, and I was like, this is just Arkham Asylum Spider-Man style. And then they have a moment where it's 2001, Spider-Man Enter Electro, and I was like, okay. And it's like, is this going to be a lot of fan service type thing? And then, I don't know, a bunch of thoughts went in my head about that. But that's what I'm saying. I was more excited for a new game like Resident Evil or Dying Light 2 than Spider-Man or The Last of Us Part 2. So, like I said, the Sony E3 press conference, dare I say, was lazy. It had some new, cool, exciting new games, but again, it just felt small, and it felt like they weren't really trying this year, which is fine, but, you know, it's whatever. It's fine. Let me know what you guys think. I'm not saying I'm not excited for The Last of Us Part 2. I'm not saying I'm not excited for Spider-Man. I'm not saying I'm not excited for those games. I'm just saying is it didn't excite me as much as, for example, Resident Evil 2 Remake. I was like, whoa, this came out of left field. This came out of nowhere. This is awesome. January 25th. Hell yeah. Where it's like Spider-Man, it's like fucking, 2-3 goddamn years? And I haven't got anything for it yet. And then The Last of Us Part 2. We didn't even get a release date for it. How am I supposed to feel about that? So, that's me. I mean, think how you will. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are. There are a couple other games I want to talk about. I think these are the only 2 press conferences I will be talking about as a whole. But I will be talking about other individual games that I really do want to talk about. But other than that, guys, that's it. Thank you for watching. Overall, this whole E3 it was great. It was really cool. Microsoft, Sony, E3s, they were great. They were awesome. I really did enjoy it as a whole. I actually was exhausted. I had to like take some naps, cause like a lot of naps, cause it was tiring to watch all these new exciting games come out and get that adrenaline pumping through me with the excitement. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching, and I'm out of here. Up, and away. See you guys.